Car lovers, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a strut mount, replacing a strut mount on this Toyota 86. So I'm doing it a little bit different because we're at home, so trying to be safe. The tools you're going to need, you're gonna need your torque wrench. You're gonna need a Allen key. That one have a CRV 6mm written on it. You're going to ignore this. This is a 12mm spanner. Ignore that. You're going to need your ratchet handle and a 12mm socket for your shock mount bolts. And this one inside here is 17mm. You're gonna need this guy right here, which is a pass-through ratchet handle. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna use this one to put over the bolt inside the top of the strut. Meanwhile, you're gonna use your Allen key to put inside there, right, so that inner shaft in the shock absorber don't move. Then you're gonna do your thing. That way it don't slip. You might have to extend this with a bar, put a bar on this one to hold it. So as I said, the inner shaft for the shock absorber don't move. And I like to do that before I remove the tire. I've gone ahead and done some of these things just to avoid letting the video be too long. As for the bolts at the top of the strut, I've also gone ahead and cracked them, but I haven't removed them, and it's for a good reason. So come down here now. After doing that, of course you're going to need your coil spring clamps, and I bought these off Amazon. And I didn't just jump and pick anyone. I don't know the quality of these, but I've done the right side with them and it's okay. But they have warranty as a matter of fact, but they claim that they are forged, so they're strong and whatever. I don't know. It's my second time using them. What I have done for safety, because normally if you're doing this in a shop, people, you're gonna have the strut be placed on a proper, well installed coil spring compressor unit. So because we're doing this at home, I decided I'm not going to remove the shock from the car, because if this coil spring compressor was to break, if they were to collapse, this spring would become a missile. So would the shock absorber. It will become a missile for anything in its path. So if there's vehicles parked close by where you get damaged, and not even talking about vehicle, you yourself could get damaged by this or by the shock absorber or the spring. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let it stay in the vehicle, and this way it's way more safer. This isn't gonna go anywhere if these were to break. It's not gonna go anywhere because it's bolted here onto the knuckle of the vehicle. Up here, the way how we're gonna be doing it, if the spring was to fly, it would just be hitting the body of the car. But then again, you have to be careful. When you go to automotive school, they teach you to use the coil spring compressor. We're talking about this because it's serious. They teach you to use a coil spring compressor, but they also teach you to it's a little bit of extra safety. They teach you to tie a rope, 2 pieces of rope, 180 degrees apart, away from each other, similar to the coil spring. So you can do the coil springs 180 away from each other, and if you have this out of the vehicle, you tie the rope 180 degrees apart, and as you go along you just kind of tighten, just for safety. But you don't even have to tighten anyway, because you just need it just in case anything was to any unplanned event was to occur. So yeah, so we're gonna what I've done is also to be able to move because we need to move the shock up and down. So I've gone ahead and removed the stabilizer link. Just one bolt. It's a 17mm bolt. You unscrew it. If you want to use a ratchet with a 17-inch a 17-inch socket, you can do that. Once you have done that, you just use your pry bar. You will need a pry bar. You just need your pry bar to put underneath that bolt right there on the subframe and push it down. Just push it down, right, to be able to loosen the stabilizer link from here. Once you loosen it, you put it to the side. You put your pry bar down, and then you use your coil springs and fit them 180 degrees apart from each other. I'm going to do that. I'm using one hand, so I'm gonna have to do that and then come back. Before I go, make sure your coil springs, the claws, are clamped to the spring itself, right? And try to get both clamps. It's kind of the fact that the spring is spiral and going down, but just try to get them as close as possible to being of similar height, 180 degrees across from each other, and go down slowly. Take your time. There's no need to rush. So what I do, if you give this one 2 crank, and you can go like whatever degrees you can go, you just try to do the same thing on this side until it's fully compressed and you're able to move the strut mount. At this point, once you have removed the stabilizer link, you can go ahead and let the strut down, so you have more access to installing the coil spring compressor. So I'll just do that. As I said, I have unbolt. I cracked these before, so easy to come off. And this one, do not remove it all the way until the coil spring is fully compressed on the car. So I'm gonna go ahead, let this down, put the other coil spring compressor on, and then I'll come back. Let's do this. Let me get this to focus. Alright. I think that's good. Alright. So the reason why I'm doing it like this, trying to move it, say for example 90 degrees on the right and do the same thing on the left the same number of times is because I want the seat here where the mount is gonna be sitting on. I want this last ring to just be even and just don't give any problems. So that's why I'm doing it like that. Takes a little bit more time, but I'd rather do it that way and don't have any problems. So I think I have removed it enough, so I can go ahead and remove the mount now. I believe okay guys, so what I've done, I just put one bolt back just to have the mount up here so I can have access to it to just unscrew this bolt, the bolt up here. That's making sure that the clamp is properly tightened, the spring is compressed. Once this is unbolted, the shock is gonna fall down, so probably you wanna put something, I mean this whole assembly is gonna fall down, so probably you wanna put something underneath here. So here you go. See, the mount is now separated. The mount is separated. So up here, and it's on board. This one it's gonna fall down. Once that is done. Okay. All right. Just move this back and forth so we can get it out. Like this. All right, so there we go, guys. It's not hard, and we're just gonna do the reverse with the new one. It's nothing hard, and it's safe. See, safe. And as I said, most importantly, why I did them evenly is so I still have this last spring kind of level, so I can just put the new one on without any hassle. And also I don't want to disturb this this little rubber bushing that this last coil is sitting on. Some of these coils also have a direction that should line up, coming right down with the spindle, the mounting part of the strut here with the spindle. I didn't see any on this one on the right side, so I don't think there is any on the left either, although I'm gonna take a quick glance, but I doubt it. Where's the new one? Okay. Up above. Suck it from up above. Alright, let's go. Okay, so need to put this guy back first over the strut mount, and if you have a socket, 17-inch socket, you can use it. We're not going to try to torque this down as yet. I prefer to torque it when it's the wheel is back on and on the ground. So we just snug it like that for now. Then we're gonna catch the three nuts, the 3 bolts here. Lift the shock up, the entire assembly up, so we can get the 3 bolts back here and just also snug them. Okay, so 3 nuts back up here snugged, not tightened, just snugged. And now we're on to a tricky part. Oh, this is a 22 mil. I forgot to mention this one. This is a 22 mil used on the bolt of the coil spring compressor. So now this is a tricky part. Now we need this part right here to sit in the groove right here, not too far from it, probably like about maximum about 5 millimeters away from this little stopper section right here. The spring shouldn't be more than about 5 millimeters away from it. You shouldn't be able to fit your finger inside there either, between them. And up here we need to get this we need to loosen these 2 bolts on the compressor, the coil spring compressor, evenly, so we keep this last coil here seated without any problem. And then the very last, we're gonna make sure both here is where it's supposed to be and at the top is where it's supposed to be. So almost finished, guys, and it's done safely. Alright, it rotate. 2. Just keep it steady and take time back it off. Me pause the video for a bit and then come back. Okay guys, so here we are now. Everything is back together as it's supposed to be. Nice. So the last coil up here is seated as it's supposed to, and this coil, the end of it right here is right at this little stopper point right here, and the shock absorber where it's supposed to be, and everything lines up as it's supposed to. Alright, so as it pertains to the stabilizer link, you just put it back and okay guys, as I was saying before my battery rudely died, just reattach the stabilizer link, and all you have to do is just the same way you took it off by pressing down on the sway bar. You just do the same thing with your pry bar. Just press down on it, the whole line up, you put back your 17 millimeter nut, and I believe you torque that one to 22 foot-pounds. As I say, I like to put the tires back on before I do any more torquing, so you can just do that for the sake of making the video shorter. You'll come and you'll torque these guys to, I think, 41 foot-pounds, and this middle guy right here on the strut to, I think, 38 foot-pounds, somewhere there, 38 foot-pounds I believe, while it's on the ground. And that's it. That's my way of doing replacing the strut mount on the Toyota 86. I don't know which other vehicle it can apply for. If it's a car, most likely you can try it as long as it's big enough and give you enough room under the wheel well to operate. It was hassle-free for me, and as you can see, it was safe, and you didn't have to go and mess with those bolts there on the knuckle, and then remove brake hose and speed sensors and all of that crap. And the older your vehicles are, the more likely you are to break something. I mean, you would only have to remove the speed sensor line still, but and then again, some vehicles for alignment purposes, you don't want to mess with these bolts either. So that's the easy way. It's very easy, very simple, very straightforward, very safe. Okay, car lovers, that's what I have to share with you today. Big up yourself, and I'm out.